strategies what we talk about, clearing up spots so it's not be a fire hazard, see. I can see fire hazard here, look, see, all there bushy. But anyway, when I was a little fella growing up, the old fella used to teach us how to put a fire out, so the fire gets started down on the mesh there. And I was just reading the studies how they labelled a lot of the stuff that we done. They got they got a firebugs part of the story. So I don't know what's the firebug. The thing is, I'm going to find it out what the firebug is. I suppose it's a fire torch, that's like, we done it like that way. When we got a torch to do the fire dropping right along, burning. But in my days, we used to get the, what you call them, blady grass, cut them off at the bottom, put them up, light it. So when we went along, that was our torch of lighting fire as we went along till it burnt right up to your thing and then spread it. And then we go along and cut another one. We always had cut a couple of extras. We had them in our pockets, right? So that's just the way it was back then when I was young. So I was like the firebug. Uncle used to come along and say, Martin, me and another young fella, I won't name his name, because he used to start it from the other end and I start from the other side. So we done all what this fire drop thing. We done it in a different way.
So I'm Angel Williams. I'm a Ballingarry. I actually run Nyamba Bush Food Products. Because I'm a forager, I don't have land, I don't have property to grow my bush foods. I actually forage everything that I sell or utilise within my business. So to me, doing the cultural burns is looking after the land so that I can actually have my bush foods to collect, seeds, anything I need for my products. I'll have a better chance now with cultural burning coming back to have land back at its not at its pristine. I don't think we'll ever get that back, but to more of an advantage of what we've got now. Because a lot of our stuff is either it's either gone. A lot of our yams out at Scott's Heads are gone. Because there's been no fires on the headland out there. So they don't actually grow there, or they're very sparse. So I'm hoping through this, my most important involvement in this is to actually hope that some of my bush foods might come back in the area where I can collect and utilise for my business and to pass on that knowledge. To our young people or anyone who's actually interested in bush foods and medicines.
At the beginning we will a little bit fearful about the fire because we haven't ever used the fire as a tool for manage the land, and after our experience with 2019 we were a little bit traumatized by the intensity and the fear of fire, I guess. And since we have been working with Riz and the team, it's definitely changed our perspective completely, and now we feel like that tool, the fire, can be integrated in the management of our land. In our context, as I mentioned, it helps us to manage the timber plantation and to promote a healthier grass cover in the timber plantation. At the same time, that to reduce the hazard of fire, because by burning in winter, we are saving the intensity or reducing the intensity of any potential fire in summer, which obviously help us to protect the asset, which is timber, and of course the soil itself. In another hand, the fire is helping us in protecting or promoting the regeneration of the wild areas by suppressing the weeds and then passing the fire through is helping us to germinate all the seed stock that have been lying for many decades, and it's actually accelerating that process of regeneration of the soil, which is definitely helpful. And yeah, so far have been an amazing opportunity to rediscover the fire, and also to feel more empowered by the capacity of manage the land with fire. Especially the way we've seen it work is fascinating. How slowly it burns, always leaving a little bit of organic matter underneath, and yeah, and making the landscape look way, let's say, tidier, but I will say healthier more than anything. Time will tell if it's actually a really successful tool, but we believe it's definitely been adding a value to the ecosystem.
Steve Widders here, also known as Durgan. I'm on Nyambinakilna, our country, west of Armidale, Anaiwan land. I'd like to just express our thanks to the people who come here today, including your mob, who come up to do a cultural burn up here this afternoon and this morning. It's about retaining culture, reclaiming culture, understanding culture, and when we do traditional practices like this, it's not only good for the land, but it's good for an understanding of culture and reclaiming it back again. And it's also a bit about cooperation between people from different countries. So I appreciate and respect the Gumbaynggirr people who've come up here to share their knowledge and understanding and practices with us. You know, we who are witnesses here today know a lot more about cultural burning and the importance of it, not only for the land but for the environment and the animals as well. So thank you. We need more of this, and you're welcome back anytime. Otikalana. Let's talk soon. Thank you.
Ginagay, my name is Robert Briggs. I am a Gumbaynggirr Thangari Nyuon man. I am the coordinator for the IPA for the Gumbaynggirr Rangers, Nyambinakilna Waja Aboriginal Corporation, and our ranger group are Gargle Waja Rangers, Sea Country Rangers, but also land-based rangers as well. We've been on the ground for about 4 months now, and where we're up to is we're still in the building phase and developing capacity for all that to be able to fulfil all the duties and work health and safety compliance in areas like sea country, whale disentanglement, being able to do research on endangered species like seagrass and oyster beds and leaf oysters, and seahorses, and turtles as well. So, and there's a long list of other endangered species in sea country that we need to look at, because without looking at things, if we lose things like seagrass, our underwater habitat becomes an underwater desert. Other areas we'd like to go into are cultural burning, and that's why we're here today, invited by Reece Pacey and being trained with Firegrounds to establish the capacity to be able to go into that area. But yeah, this is the other part of the building phase of the Gumbaynggirr Rangers. So the sea country wheels are turning with regards to our compliance and to be able to get all our training up to scratch to meet the AMSA requirements. But also we are going to begin now to start working in the land management section as well, to begin to do cultural burns and to go along with groups like Reece Pacey's group, and national parks, forestry and RFS, and to work collaboratively to develop that understanding of our relationship with country and everything in country.
So today we've been invited by the JB organisation, Reece Pacey, along to assist with the training that's been conducted by a number of students undertaking some fireground training. It's been a great community initiative to see, you know, the RFS national parks on board to be able to assist with this training and bring our expertise and learn from both members of the community and the firefighters that are involved in the community on how to apply fire to the land and how we can best benefit each other when it comes to fire management in the landscape.
We've got good balance of natives, little glycines, native basket grass, kidney weed, there's lobelia. So we've got all these little food and medicine plants here, really important. So we want to create a low intensity fire that'll burn out the seeds from the weeds, create spaces for our natives to move back into. The first thing we really need to do is look at our soil moisture, and we want to look after that soil, all that microbial life, all that organic matter in the soil. We don't want to burn that out. We don't want to cook the soil, and especially being clay soil, it's like making clay pots. If it's hot, nothing will grow in it. We'll promote fire-loving species. With a cool fire, we'll promote cooler fire-loving species. So what we'll do, we'll add a spot fire on the ground here, and we'll just watch. And what that'll do, that'll send signals to all the trees, all the birds, all the insects. They'll know that fire's in the landscape. And fire's in their DNA. They'll know how to respond to that fire. So the insects will start climbing up the trees, climbing into cracks in the ground, under logs, into stumps. You know, the birds know, oh, there might be a feed on here later. You know, there's going to be little grubs and insects that don't make it out and cook. We're going to be looking at that smoke. So that smoke will be a real indicator for us. If it's nice white smoke, that's good smoke. That smoke will go up through the canopy and feed that canopy. Those trees will sequester all that smoke and that carbon, and that'll help them grow and it'll help them flower next year. They'll actually flower better next year.